Melody Shari's beautiful weekend moments, heartwarming poolside fun with her kids. It was the end of the week, so the light of the sun was spreading from the sky to the earth. There was a strange stillness in the air, as if the universe itself had stopped for a moment. In that silence, Melody Shari sat poolside with her 4 children. She had a smile on her face, a smile that returned after years of suffering, struggle, and loneliness. The soft sound of water waves and children's laughter created a soft music of joy in the air. Melody Shari, the popular star of Love Marriage Huntsville, has won the hearts of viewers over the years for her strong character and humble demeanor. Despite divorce, cheating, and public controversy, they pulled themselves together, kept their children safe, and turned their lives in a new direction. Today, she is not just a mother, but a symbol, an example of female strength, patience, and rebirth. Their children were seen laughing, playing, and splashing in the water by the pool. Maria and Malia were making noise by throwing water at each other, while Tank jumped in an attempt to catch a small floating ball. "Mom, look, I caught it." The passion in his voice touched the mother's heart. Melody leaned back and said, "Well done, my son, but be careful." Her voice had that gentleness that only a mother's tone can have. A tone that makes a child's heart feel safe. This moment was no ordinary day. It was a day when Melody Shari was at peace with her family. Her brother Marcus and her husband Troy were also there. Both were playing with the children, their laughter echoing in the atmosphere. Marcus has always been close to Melody, especially during the days when she was going through a miscarriage with her husband, Martel Holt. Marcus had always supported them, and today, when he saw his sister laughing, a gentle wave of satisfaction would cross his face. Melody endured a lot on her journey. Her marriage to Martel initially gave the impression of an ideal couple. They were both known as a power couple, an ideal family as business partners, main characters of the show, and parents. But time changed all that. When everything falls apart in a world of betrayal, feuds, and accusations, Melody stands strong. He never blamed anyone, but showed the world by his actions that real power lies in silence. Sitting by the pool, she was watching her children. Her face had the same light as a mother's love for her children. Perhaps that moment was a reminder to them that no matter how hard life is, love can change everything. A new beginning was hidden in the laughter of children, in the glimmer of water, and in the rays of the sun. Near the pool, Marcus called out, "Melody, remember how we used to sneak into the pool as kids?" "Yeah, and Mom used to scold us, saying, 'You two could never be straight,'" replied Melody with a laugh. The laughter of both of them echoed in the air. Troy also smiled and said, "Looks like history is repeating itself." All went back for a moment to the past, where life was simple and hearts were unburdened. This scene was not only a family's happiness, but a symbol of continuity of life. The same Melody that was once criticized on social media was coming out in a new form today, calm, content, and full of love. Her fans know that this moment did not come easily for her. There was a time when she cried during the show, when the pain reflected in her words. But today, the woman who was once broken has put herself back together. A new scene formed near them. Maria threw water on her younger sister Malia's hair. Malia yelled back, "Mom, stop it. That's the fun, the little mischief. That's what childhood is all about," laughed Melody. The children's laughter echoed again, as if the atmosphere itself had joined in their joy. One interesting thing about Melody is that she is not just a TV star, but also a successful businesswoman. Her 7th Avenue beauty brand gained considerable popularity in the United States. His personal life was falling apart, but he did not give up. They believe that a woman's true strength is revealed when she knows how to smile even after losing everything. This is the spirit that was reflected in his smile today, even though his personal life was collapsing. He persisted in starting this enterprise. They think that a woman's ability to smile in the face of adversity is a sign of her true strength. Her smile today was a reflection of this enthusiasm. Golden hues started to appear in the sky as the evening wore on. Marcus forced everyone to drink as the children exited the water and wrapped themselves in blankets. After inhaling deeply, Melody spoke the words, "These are the moments that make life wonderful." His voice sounded calm, as though a weight had been lifted from his chest. She had grown into a whole woman with her brothers, kids, and family. Years of struggle, not just one day, led to this moment. And it is possible that this was the turning point that restored real calm to her life. A peculiar serenity descended over the pool water as the evening sun started to shine its golden beams. The youngsters were exhausted, the laughter gradually subsided, and there was a profoundly peaceful silence in the air. Melody Shari took a seat in the chair and inhaled deeply, her eyes gleaming with satisfaction. For her, that moment might have marked the start of a new trip rather than the conclusion of a lengthy one. Melody's life has not always been simple. She is not your typical woman. Rather, she is a woman with after the divorce. When people talked about her on social media, rumors spread. Melody responded to all of them with silence. For me, peace is the most valuable thing. I learned that if you are content in your heart, nothing in the world can shake you, she says. As she sat by the pool with her children today, her words rang true. Melody's journey isn't limited to a divorce or the fame associated with the show. They have transformed themselves into a complete brand through their business, music, and lifestyle. Her skincare brand, 7th Avenue Beauty, is a symbol that no injury can weaken a woman when she believes in herself. I want every woman to look in the mirror and realize that she is enough, she said in multiple interviews. This message touched the hearts of his fans. Their social media posts often show the same thing: confidence, dignity, and faith. She always tells her followers to write your own story. Don't let others tell you who you are. Meanwhile, Marcus brought them a glass of lemonade. "You are very quiet today," he said. Melody smiled and replied, "I'm just thinking how much life has changed. There was a time when I used to worry about everything. Today, I'm just thankful." Marcus nodded. "Yes, you have indeed changed. But that's your real beauty. You're not who you used to be. You're better." Melody looked up at the sky. The light passing through the clouds seemed to fall on their faces. Perhaps it was the same light that arises within the heart when a person is at peace with herself. By the way, the Winter Wonderland event is coming up. Everyone's been asking if you're coming. Troy, sitting next to Melody, changed the subject. Melody replied with a smile, "Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Sometimes I think it's not easy to get back into that environment. But I'm not the same anymore," Troy said. "Just remember, wherever you go, you carry light. Whether it's on the show or in life, there's something inside of you that inspires everyone." This conversation was short, but the meaning was deep. There was a time when every news about Melody was buried in the media frenzy. Now, she tells her own stories in her own way. Thousands of people watch her daily videos on her YouTube channel where she talks about life, motherhood, and self-esteem. There is a tone in his voice that is a sign of truth. There is peace in his life now, but this peace was not gifted to her. Those nights when she was alone, when she hid her tears for the sake of her children, when she responded to every taunt with silence, those moments strengthened the woman within her. I learned that sometimes breaking up is not a bad thing, because when you reconnect, you become stronger than before, she says. The poolside lights had dimmed. The children were now sitting covered with blankets. Melody stroked their heads and said softly, "This is all for you. Everything I do for you." Her tone had the gentleness and pride of a mother. To her children, she is not just a mother, but a hero. They know that their mother fought for life alone, but never gave up. That is why they are proud of them. Maria once said in a video, "Mommy teaches us never to show weakness in front of anyone." Perhaps this education is the foundation of his family. Meanwhile, Marcus laughed and said, "Remember when you were a child, your mother used to say that peace is the greatest wealth." "Yes, and now I see she was right," Melody replied with a smile. As he said this, his eyes had that twinkle that comes after a long struggle. Inside her was no longer the woman imprisoned by the wounds of the past, but a new Melody, ShariStrong.com, and contented. Time passed. The night air grew chilly. There was silence in the atmosphere, but there was peace hidden in this silence. Melody wrapped her children, straightened their blankets, and prayed in her heart, "Oh God, make it easy for them always." A smile appeared on her face. The same smile that is the truest language of a mother's heart. This moment was a testament to Melody's journey. She was now on the threshold of a new life. Her fans felt that she was not just moving on, but shining. Dignity in every step, love in every word, and experience in every smile. All eyes were also on the new turn of his career. Apart from his business, his passion for music also rekindled. He recently recorded a new song, Telltale Signs, that tells his own life story. Telltale Signs that tells his own life story. This song is for women who have seen betrayal but still don't give up. There is pain and hope in his voice. Perhaps this is the true identity of Melody Shari, the woman who is not broken, the woman who is not burned, but rises from the ashes and shines again. As the first rays of morning appeared in the sky, the poolside was quiet. The cool night air had now turned into soft sunshine. Soft music was coming from Melody Shari's house. The children were eating their breakfast, and their faces showed the freshness of a good night's sleep. Melody was standing in the kitchen making coffee, and there was a strange satisfaction in her heart. Maybe years later she was feeling complete. This was no ordinary day. Today was a special occasion for them, the day of the Winter Wonderland event. This was the event where all the old faces of Love, Marriage, Huntsville were going to reunite. For Melody, this moment was nothing short of a test. Past wounds, old relationships, and bitter memories were all buried in this city. But today she was going back higher than all of them, as if she was going to write the next chapter of her own story. He looked at herself in the mirror, dressed in white, with sparkling eyes and a confident face. She looked like a woman who had come through a storm into the light. He smiled and said softly, "I'm ready." Children were running around them. "Mom, you look so beautiful," said Malia. "And you all are my greatest fortune," replied Melody with a laugh. Mariah, Tank, and Sugar Mama hugged their mom. In this scene, there was that touch of love that erases all sorrow. Melody looked up at the sky before getting into the car. There was gratitude in his eyes. This was a woman who faced public spectacles, social media storms, and personal struggles. But today, it boils down to just one word: peace. As they entered the Winter Wonderland event, all eyes were on them. As she walked in between the lights, it was as if the entire hall fell silent for a moment. She was the same Melody everyone knew. But today, there was a new glory in her persona: strength with gentleness, confidence with silence. He was welcomed by his old colleagues. Some were surprised, some were impressed. But there was one thing in everyone's hearts: Melody is back, but she's not what she was. This event was no less than a new turning point for her. Not only as fans, but also many business partners were present here. Media representatives were watching his every move. But Melody maintained her dignity, meeting everyone with a smile, but with a distance. She knew that this was the world that had once made a spectacle of her pain. But today she was standing back in this world with her own strength. During the event, a reporter asked her, "Melody, your fans want to know why you're back at this event, when you've said in the past that you want to withdraw. Because I don't walk in fear anymore. I walk in peace. And sometimes you have to close the chapter of your own story that was never finished." Melody replied after a moment's thought. This sentence touched the hearts of everyone present. That moment was not just for her, but for every woman who has ever been buried under a relationship, an opinion, or a fear. During the event, he also met some old colleagues with whom his differences had come to light in the past. But today, Melody greeted them all with a smile. He did not argue with anyone, did not give any explanation, just quietly showed everyone that true dignity is not in words, but in actions. As she exited the event in the evening, she was thronged by her fans. Everyone was praising her, praying for her. "Melody, you give us hope," said one fan. "That's my goal," he replied softly. "If my story can stop someone from losing, then that's all to be proud of." On the way back, seeing the lights passing through the car window, he started thinking about how life had changed. There was a time when this path was a sign of pain for them. But today, the same path has become a symbol of freedom. On reaching home, when she went to her children's room, they were all asleep. They gently adjusted their blankets and kissed each on the forehead. Then he went to the window and took a deep breath in the moonlight. "Thankfully, I have reached here," she said in her heart. This was not just one woman's story. It was the story of every mother, sister, daughter, and friend who navigates the storms of life. Melody Shari's life has become an example today that even if wounds break the heart, those same wounds can become light if you refuse to give up. Her fans know that this is not the end, but a new beginning. She is now influencing the world through her children, her business, and her voice. Her life is a constant message that women are not weak. They have the power to change the world. The next morning when the sun rose again, Melody was sitting on her lawn drinking coffee. Children's laughter echoed again. The chirping of birds enlivened the air. She smiled as if a voice had come from the heart. "This is my life, and this is my joy." If you enjoyed this beautiful story of Melody, Shari, and her children, be sure to give the video a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and tell us which family moment touched you the most. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because in the next videos, we will be talking about Melody's new achievements, her business ventures, and the moments where she completely changed her life. Remember, behind every story, there is a lesson. Melody Shari's story teaches us that no matter how hard life is, with love, faith, and patience, anything is possible. See you in the next video. Until then, stay true to yourself and your light. True to yourself and your light.